Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Megan with the CraftyPlannerLovR here, and today we are going to be going through our next installment of the Lily Clara letters. This is going to be letters 17 through 20. So if you are unfamiliar with the Lily Clara collection, it is a collection from theflowerletters.com. It is a subscription-based mail service where you will get a variety of different snail mail letters, postcards, scrapbooking items, and such for you to enjoy while you are also learning about a specific person. Each letter collection is a cast of characters experiencing a significant event or time period in history. So for this one, it is called the Lily Clara collection. This is set in the Western United States during the year 1884. Lily Clara is through a series of events sent to Frisco, Utah. She answers a matrimonial ad from New York, and she goes to Frisco, Utah. It's an area of the Horn Silver Mine. There is a scandal set afoot in Frisco, one that could bring down the entire mine. While Lily Clara finds herself in the center of it, the only thing that can save herself is her own tenancy and the letters she's been exchanging with an Pinkerton agent, Matthew Hickman. Now, this is a very fun adventure. It's very sappy romance, so definitely not specifically my vibe, but I do enjoy the adventure and mystery portion of it. So if you guys miss any of the previous videos of this series, you can check out the entire playlist. I will leave it linked at the end of this video and in the description box so you can check it out. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and begin. All right, so here is letter number 16. This is Lily Clara's letter to Hickman. So this is what we have here, and then we will look at these in a second. Okay, so what we have learned so far is that Matthew Hickman is very jealous of the sheriff, who is supposedly like courting or like trying to win over Lily Clara. And the first thing that she says is like, no, he's actually after my sister, so don't worry, he's not after me. She is very enamored with Mr. Hickman, so she talks about that a lot. And then she talks about her suspects of the White Widow murders. So she finds out that there was makeup on the dress that she had. There was like embroidery on the dress, and she asked to have the embroidery so that she could replicate it. And she's finding, like, she found a piece of white makeup smeared onto the dress. So they found out that basically one of Miss Lottie's girls is the murderer, and because she found a bunch of clues that allude to the fact that it is one of those girls. And then they find out that RIPOS, which was something that was pinned onto all of the victims of the murder, is actually R.I.P. Oliver Snipe, which, if you remember from the very first letter, that was the first thing that Lily Clara saw when she came to Frisco, Utah, was the lynching incident where she saw him die. So they're thinking that it must be somebody to avenge Oliver Snipe's murder. So this is very interesting to hear about her little involvement in the whole murder situation. And then we learn about Venetian Cruz, which is basically makeup that you can make to make your face white. So this is the instructions for that. And then we have this little postcard, which is about tea and lamps and such. And then we have this, which is what one of the girls looked like. This is like a bookmark, and this is from the Rico period. So that is why we get this, because we can get an idea of like what they looked like. So that is everything for letter number 16. Now let us move on to the next letter. So like I said, you will receive most of the time a postcard or something to go with your letter. So this is what the little postcard looks like for this installment. And then we have some letters. This one, it looks like it is to Lily Clara from Mr. Pinkerton. Now, as we have seen in the previous letters exchange, she is getting more and more romantic as time goes on, so very interested to see what we find out about him now. So far we are learning that Hickman has found and had another lead of chasing the Star Sisters. They led him to a pit of quicksand, but he said that they made sure, again, no real harm came to me by putting a tree branch well within my reach before taking off. He pulled himself to safety, but the tree branch broke. He tumbled off a cliff, knocked himself unconscious, and fell into the river, and his horse Orion was able to drag him out of the water. So he had himself a little adventure. Okay, so something else that I am finding out in these letters is that the person that we were asked about in the previous letter was the name Maria de Rivera, and it's actually not a lady. It is a man who had basically came across a treasure that he had, and he hid it, and he has a map of the treasure, and he meaning Hickman is assuming that the treasure map has something to do with Frisco and the stars, because he believes that the precious item the stars stole from Captain Rigby is the treasure map. And now he addresses Lily as Lily Darling and your lovely affianced. So that is interesting. All right, this is the next thing here, and this is probably one of those maps that we get anytime Matthew Hickman sends a letter. Yes, it is, so that we can see his trail of following the Star Sisters. Yes, so this is just a little letter explaining everything that he did. And then I believe that this is another map. Let's see. Oh, this might be the finished map. This is a map of the Spanish Trail that he talked about in his letters. So that's very exciting. And then on the back here is just some pretty decoration that goes with like the theme of the Lily Clara letters. So that is everything that we have in letter number 17. All right, so we have another postcard just like we got in the last one. This says, attention, read first. This is a telegram. This is from Matthew Hickman to Bill Pinkerton. Remember, Bill Pinkerton was the one who assigned Matthew Hickman to this case to clear off all of his debt. And he is basically just saying, like, I'm not sure that the Star Sisters are the bad guys. Can you do some digging on Captain Rigby? So that is basically what this telegram is. Now we have another, this looks like, so this is from, or to Matt Hickman from Bill Pinkerton. So let's figure out what this says about the case. Okay, so first thing we're finding out is that the bright stars are Miss Lottie's half nieces, because Lottie's brother is her half brother, and he's the late father of the Bright Star girls. And now we are finding out that this guy had the treasure map with De Rivera's treasure map that we just learned about. He had it with him. And then we find out that he was found dead the next day after showing the map to his superior because he was in the war. So we're finding a lot about him. Oh, okay, so now we're finding out that the quote-unquote killing that happened with fellow that we're finding out about, basically we're finding out that Captain Rigby may have been the one to kill his staff and to frame the Bright Stars for the murder, because Captain Rigby also found this guy in his tent. So yeah, I'm thinking it might have been him. So then we find out that McDonald was the one helping him find all of this information, helping Bill Pinkerton find the information, and Bill is under the suspicion that Gambit owes Rigby money, not McDonald, and that McDonald is just the middleman. Well, that was interesting to learn. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, and then this says, attention, read last. This is to Sam from Matthew Hickman. Sam meaning the sheriff. Okay, and this letter is, or this telegram is telling the sheriff, hey, be on your guard. Captain Rigby is heading towards Frisco. That Pinkerton believes that Gambit is in debt to him, and he might be prepared to do some pretty intense things if his mine is not attended to properly. So that is very interesting. And then we have a little information about the shoe. So that's always, I'm always interested to know like why they include these rather than like something pertaining to the actual case, but very interesting. I am excited to learn more about Lily Clara's involvement in all this, which I'm assuming letter number 19 will be her involvement. So let's continue. All right, so we have this one, which says, attention, read first. This is to Bill Pinkerton from Matthew Hickman. Okay, so Matthew Hickman finally caught the Star Sisters, but because of the information that they now know that they might be innocent, he is telling Bill Pinkerton, hey, I'm hiding them in Spring City, not Salt Lake where they're supposed to be going, and a friend there will keep them safe until he knows more. So nice to know that he finally caught them. And this is a letter from Lily Clara, so let's see what she has to say about the White Widow murders. Oh, we found out that Sammy, who is the sheriff, finally proposed to Lily Clara's sister Katie. Very fun. So we are finding out that the Star Sisters do indeed have the treasure map that we thought about, that we assumed that they had. Rigby is kind of saying, he stole my treasure, I'll steal theirs. I'm thinking it has to do with, unfortunately, Lily Clara, so I guess we will find out what he means by that. Okay, and then we have this. I think this is something from Lily Clara. Yes, this is the Valentine's dresses that she's been working on for the new show, which is Miss Lottie's new show. So these are like little dresses from the show, like an advertisement basically. And then we have a little advertisement about soap, I believe. Silk handkerchief in every box of the toilet soap. Okay, very interesting. I'm assuming that this is stuff they had back in the time of this, the 1800s, I guess. All right, so this is letter number 19. We're going to move on to our final letter and figure out what Gambit meant by they stole my treasure, so now I'll steal theirs. I'm very interested to hear what that means. Okay, and then we get another postcard. And then this says, attention, read first. This is a telegram to Matthew Hickman from the sheriff, Sam something. I can't remember his name. I was correct. Rigby did kidnap Lily Clara and Miss Lottie. They have been kidnapped by Captain Rigby, and they say you have until Friday to return your treasure. So yeah, that's interesting. I guess we will find out. This must be the letter. Okay, so this is a newspaper article. It says Horn Silver Mine collapses. So we're going to read about that. And then the kidnapping, which must be about Lily Clara. The Bright Stars escape again. And then something about the White Widow. So I'm going to read all of this. And then we will find out what is happening. All right, so Silver Mine. Here is the situation. At the very beginning, we found out that Oliver Snipe, which, if you recall, we believe that the ransom note that the White Widow had put on the victims was in reference to him. We think that she was trying to avenge his death. So Oliver Snipe was advising everybody, hey, this is dangerous. We have dangerous conditions with the silver mine. He informed Mr. Gambit, and we believe that Mr. Gambit covered up the death of those 4 people that we heard about earlier in last video's letters. Apparently Mr. Gambit is missing, and so is the sheriff. So Long story short, the silver mine collapsed, and I do believe that it collapsed due to what we learned about in the previous letter, which was that Mr. Rigby was going to take care of the whole silver mine situation. So that is very interesting. It looks like they are covering up a lot of stuff and everybody is missing. All right, so we are finding out that all of these people are missing. So Gambit, Miss Charlotte, Miss Lily Clara, the sheriff, Matthew Hickman, Rigby, and Bianca. So we now know, okay, that the Star Sisters have escaped. They did escape, and this article is about, hey, just so you know, we think that the White Widow might be done. So now we know all about our little situation with the mine. We know about everything that is happening with the Star Sisters. We know that Matthew Hickman did indeed not follow Lily Clara's advice and came running as soon as Lily Clara was kidnapped, obviously because they are affianced. But this is becoming very interesting, so I'm excited to learn to hear what we find out about Lily Clara and Matthew Hickman. Obviously, it's probably not going to be letters to each other because I'm assuming it's going to be telegrams and town crier newspapers finding out what happened. So yeah, that is it for this letter. All right, so that is everything for this installment of the Lily Clara letters. We have learned quite a lot. We've learned that Mr. Rigby is the person responsible for a lot of this. Gambit is also responsible, and Lily Clara, Miss Lottie, and the sheriff and Matthew Hickman are missing, and the silver mine has collapsed. So there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to unpack, and there's a lot more for us to find out in the last 4 letters of this installment. If you guys like this video and you want to see more about Lily Clara and the other collections, check out the description box. I will leave the flower letters information, all of their links, as well as the link to this specific collection if you guys are wanting to try it out yourself. I know that we have a couple of people who share a flower letter kind of decorations and things like that, so if you wanted to see all of their videos, I'm sure that the Flower Letters has them on their YouTube channel, so definitely check them out if you are interested. If you want to see my collection from the very beginning, you can check out the Flower Letters Lily Clara collection playlist, which will be linked at the end of this video and in the description box below. I really hope you enjoyed learning more about Lily Clara and seeing how the subscription can really excite you and take you on a whole journey and a different adventure than you ever thought. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, craft on. Bye guys.